What if I tell you that the ideas written down by the greatest philosopher of all time were never implemented in the real world? Those ideas never got a chance to work on the ground. There was a boy born into wealth. His family had everything: land, status, political power, everything. He was a good looking, strong, and he even used to participate in wrestling tournaments. He was supposed to become a politician. From the outside, a perfect life. But something was wrong. Something had always been wrong. He could not stop asking the questions that nobody wanted to answer. Why do people follow the leaders who lie to them? Why does the crowd believe what they are told? What is justice? Not what we call justice, but what it actually is. People smiled at him politely and changed the subject. At this point of time, he was 20 years old, and already the world felt like a lie he could not unsee. Then he met a man, old, ugly, by his own admission. No money, no status, no political power. He walked barefoot on the streets of Athens, asking strangers uncomfortable questions. Most people avoided him. This boy couldn't. He followed him, he listened to him, he watched him dismantle the confidence of generals, poets, politicians with nothing but questions, not answers, just questions. At this point of time, he found the man who took the world as seriously as he did. He became his student, and for the next 10 years, this was his life. Then came the day that broke him. The city of Athens, the so called birthplace of democracy, put his teacher on trial. The charges: corrupting the youth and disrespecting the God. The real reason was he made powerful people feel stupid, and powerful people never forgive that. The jury voted, he found guilty, and the sentence was death. The boy watched his teacher consuming the poison calmly, without fear, almost peacefully. That day, something died in that boy. Not his body, but his faith in democracy, in people, and in the idea that truth protects you. It doesn't. He learned that the hard way. At this stage of life, he was 30 years old. He left the Athens and traveled for years in Egypt, Italy, Sicily. He was trying to forget the image of his teacher dying, but he couldn't. So instead, he started writing not just philosophy, but stories, dialogues, conversations between his dead teacher and the world. He gave the voice back to his teacher through the pages. He built an entire theory of reality: the caves, the shadow, the sun, trying to explain why good men get destroyed by the comfortable people. He started a school, the first real university in Western history. He called it the Academy. He taught there for 40 years, and the ideas he written down in Greek, In rage, in heartbreak, we are studying in today after 2400 years later. This man was Plato. But here is the twist nobody talks about. Plato, the man who believed philosopher king should rule, tried to live that belief. He went to Sicily twice to turn a ruler named Dionysius into his perfect ideal philosopher king, to actually build the perfect just society he had written about. Both times he completely failed. First time, the Dionysius was so frustrated with Plato that he allegedly had him sold into slavery. Slavery! The man who had written about the liberation of human mind was put up for sale. He was bought and freed by his friend. He again went to Sicily and again failed. Think about that for a second. The man who understood the human nature better than almost anyone in history could not change one man. The man who wrote about the perfect justice was sold like a property. The man who taught the world how to think died having never seen his ideas actually work. So, what does that mean? It means that truth is not a reward system. Seeing clearly doesn't protect you. Thinking deeply doesn't guarantee success. Being right doesn't mean you win. Plato knew this, but he kept going anyway, not because he was certain, but because he could not stop. And maybe that is the only definition of philosophy, not having answers, but being unable to stop asking questions.